we can block 2. So this way we block. Okay, so we definitely need to block with this. And here we can get rid of a creature or prevent 2 damage. Either way, if we block this creature or this creature, we prevent 2 damage. But at least we can kill this one. So we are at 7. We take 1 damage from Dogged Pursuit. So do we just win here? Well, welcome back. I'm Ricky, your friendly neighborhood Canadian, and this is Yurt the Turt. Yurt the Turt's gonna move to my other shoulder now. And today we're going to play our sealed deck games. Got us some interesting rares. We saw Rise of the Dreadmarn. We saw Alrund's Epiphany. A ridiculously fun card. We had 2 red rares in Magda Brazen Outlaw, but we did not pull enough dwarves to play that. And we have Bergie's God of Storytelling, but red was very shallow, green was very shallow, and as was black. For each of those colors, red, green, and black, we only had about 7 playable creatures, and they weren't really that playable to begin with, so we really weren't considering those colors too much. In white, we had triple copy of Clarion Spirit, which is a card, you know, when played consistently can be ridiculous. You just generate a mass amount of 1/1 flying tokens that just fly over and run over your opponents. And we were lucky enough to get 1 Anthem card in Warhorn Blast, so right off the bat, because of the consistency that was offered by Clarion Spirit, and the fact that we had an Anthem card, and the fact that we had a lot of creatures available in white, we chose to play white as our base. Blue provided us the ridiculously fun card and the mythic card Alrund's Epiphany. Who doesn't want to take extra turns in the game of Magic? So why not? And of course, we have other flyers and some of the only removal cards in our entire pool. So Icebind Pillar is our snow artifact. We have 4 snow sources, so hopefully that's enough. We might actually need to force ourselves to play some of our other snowlands. Actually, that's not even a snowland, man. Alpine Meadow, I guess I might have to throw that in there instead of a plains. Yeah, just because we desperately need Icebind Pillar to work for us. We have Raven Form, which is kind of a bit of a weak removal spell. We can exile our opponent's creatures for 3 mana, or actually if we foretell it for 1 mana, that's excellent, because if we foretell it, we can presumably play some other card on the same turn and trigger some of our second spell abilities, such as, you know, Bloodsky Berserker, Clarion Spirit. We can set up for Codespell Cleric as well. We can set up for Doomscar Oracle, gain some life while we draw into our winning cards or build up our wide board. Stalwart Valkyrie, we have... Well, actually, sorry, I was explaining why we ended up in white and blue, so that's why we are in white and blue. You'll also see some black cards over here, and the reason we added black was, 1, we had 2 snow-covered swamps in our sealed pool, so that seemed like a valuable resource to have. And we had Bloodsky Berserker, which is, you know, it requires 1 black mana. It is also a second spell each turn payoff, and it's permanent. It's 2 1/1 counters every time you manage to pull 2 spells in a turn, so that seems like a pretty good deal. And we pulled a Trickster God's Heist. You may exchange control of 2 target creatures. I feel like this is better than I think it is, but I mean, we have a lot of token generating creatures that are very weak. So for example, if we generate some 1/1 Spirit Flying tokens or some 1/1 Warrior creature tokens, we really wouldn't mind trading those tokens for one of our opponent's creatures. And on top of that, we get to exchange 2 target non-basic non-creature permanents, so that could be potentially really fun. And to top it all off, you get to drain 3 life off your opponent, so I mean, why not, right? So that's where we have our deck. Some of the harder decisions that we had to make this time was Valkyrie's Sword. It's a cheap to cast equipment, which is kind of what we want to trigger second spell each turn theme. However, it's 3 to equip before you get any benefit, so that's 5 to cast to get one of your creatures to 2/1. So that's really, really, really poor value, almost unplayable. yes, it has a kicker, but its kicker is 7 to cast essentially to get a ridiculously powerful, you know, 6/5 flying vigilance angel. But to get to that mana, we're not in green, we don't have mana ramp. It just seems too cheesy. So we might come to regret it, but we'll have to keep that in mind. Master Scald is a decent 4/4 body, but we don't have enough interaction with the artifact or enchantment portion of it. Yes, we have Spectral Steel, yes, we have Valkyrie Sword, yes, we have Valor of the Worthy, but none of these cards are game-changing enough for us to warrant the Master Scald. And yes, we also have Trickster God's Heist. However, with the Master Scald, like if we play the Trickster God's Heist on curve, playing Master Scald on curve won't help us. We'll have to wait and delay a couple of turns before we play this, before we get any benefit out of it. So that's also another reason why we decided not to go that route. And yeah, I think if we take a look at the rest of our blue cards, that's where we ended up. So in summary, our deck is white, it's blue, and it splashes black for 2 hilariously powerful cards that fit our theme. And our theme is going to be riding on the back of Clarion Spirit to generate a whole bunch of 1/1 tokens for us. And what we want to do is flood the board with 1/1 flyers and other flying creatures such as Augury Raven and Stalwart Valkyrie, and run them over with Warhorn Blast or Alrund's Epiphany, which gives us an extra turn. Our mana base, of course, is going to look very wonky. We definitely need the snow-covered lands to get our Icebind Pillar to activate, because our pool of cards was very, very low on creature removal. So Icebind Pillar and Raven Form are going to be key cards for us. And here we go. We are going to play our first game now. I think our deck is actually pretty solid. We have a lot of consistency with 3 copies of Clarion Spirit, so I think we can do this. I think we can take a couple of games here. Okay, so we're going first. We have our trump card already, which is not necessarily the greatest thing. However, we do have Doomscar Oracle, which can get us to foretell, and we have our Coldspell Cleric to kick off our 2 spells a turn theme. So I think we can work with this. I think we can, at the very least, just spend a million turns foretelling. So we're not gonna play our Coldspell Cleric. I think getting in 1 damage for Vigilance isn't going to help us all that much. We did cut a whole bunch of equipment, so that's also another reason why it's going to be worse than it is. So let's not show blue because we don't need to do that yet. We will foretell our Oracle here. So now we have 3 mana, which is excellent. Our opponent did not foretell, so that's kind of weird. So let's see, we foretelled this for 1, so we can technically cast this for 1. And then we can get we can get 2 Coldspell Clerics in there. However, that's probably not what we want to do. So yeah, I think we can do Coldspell Cleric, and we will do this Coldspell Cleric. We gain 2 life, and then we put a 1/1 token on our Coldspell Cleric, so that we're spreading out our threat, and we have a 2/2 Vigilance as well as a 3/2 creature that can gain us life as our threat. So our opponent gets a 3/2 creature out, which is fine with us, and we see our Clarion Spirit here. So that is exactly why we didn't cast our Coldspell Cleric last turn, because now we get to do fun shenanigans like this. We cast our Clarion Spirit here, and then we cast our Code Spell Cleric here, and now we gain a bajillion life. We get a flying token, and we get a 1/1 token. Let us put it on our flying creature here, sure. Our opponent has something here that needs snow permanence. He has a snow permanent, so that's going to be dangerous. So I don't think he's going to block, and if he blocks, I don't really care about these 2 creatures anymore anyway, so let's go for it. At this point, We just need lands to win. We have some flying, we have some fun action going, so we just need to keep foretelling cards and winning. Like if we foretell and our opponent concedes, all right, so we hit our board real quick and our opponent concedes. All right, that's a nice and easy early win, so let's go. Alright, our first win was nice and easy. And we are on to our second game. Ooh, I get to change my banner. And then I guess I'll put diamond hands in brackets to make it less confusing. Okay, so we don't have blue source, which is unfortunate. However, we do have a Clarion Spirit, and we do have some cards to foretell anyway, so maybe that's not the worst thing. We can just start with the Alpine Meadow, cast our Clarion Spirit, or actually foretell some cards first, and then cast our Clarion Spirit. Maybe that's the way to go. Alright, alright, alright. Ooh, okay, we draw our Snow-Covered Swamp. Again, not something we need, but we can hope for what we need afterwards. Yeah, we definitely want to foretell some cards first. Unfortunately, our opponent drew the very, very powerful Karfell Harbinger already. So we're getting our planes into play, and we are going to foretell our Raven form to set up our removal spell here. We aren't drawing the cards we want, so that's kind of dangerous, especially against blue-red. They have a lot of removal options. Pilfering Hawk, okay. And they are foretelling another card. Alright, so we are still not getting the mana that we need. However, we do have 4 to hardcast our Valkyrie, so maybe that's not too bad. We can foretell Behold the Universe or Warhorn Blast, so I think we definitely need to be able to draw cards first, so let's go and get our Scry card out there. As soon as we draw blue, we can cast it, so that's what we're looking for. And let's see what our opponents can do here. Okay, that's 2 damage. Again, that's chump. We still don't have our blue source, so unfortunately I think the best we can do here is just hard cast our Stalwart Valkyrie. Not something we wanted to do at all for sure, but here we are. Especially with the 2 toughness, this creature is almost instantly going to get blasted out of the sky with some foretell cards here, so I don't have a lot of good hope for our Stalwart Valkyrie here. Yep, like I said, instantly it just dies. But that is what happens when, for whatever reason, you have, what, 7 blue sources and you draw none of it. Ooh, our opponent gets a huge creature in play. We can't gain life. And it constantly deals 2 damage. Alright, so we are drawing none of our blue sources, and we have basically 0 playable cards now. I guess I can foretell this, and foretell this. But that's the end of us. Our opponent's dealing 7 this turn, and another 9 next turn, and there's no way we can recover from that, even if we get an extra turn here. Quickbringer is, I think, absolutely broken in Limited. And we still don't have it. However, we do get to play Clarion Spirit here. And then we can cast Stalwart Valkyrie by removing our other Stalwart Valkyrie from our graveyard. So we do get an extra 1/1 token here. And between all of these creatures, we do have enough to bring down the Quakebringer. So this does slow down our opponent a lot. And pretty much as soon as we draw 2 islands, we're back in the game. Yeah, I think I need two yeah, because even with one island, I can remove one of the creatures from the game, and I think I'll be in a pretty good spot. But our opponent is hovering. They probably have a removal spell, or they're, you know, just reading all the cards because it's a new set. Either way, they run a shore, and they return permanent to its owner's hand at the top or bottom of the library. I guess I need to draw an island, so I'm gonna have to decline. And yeah, once again, I'm forced to block the Quakebringer, and we are going to lose very badly here. Well, our opponent has what he needs, has what they need. I'm guessing it's a he, Mats. And we take the L. On to the next. So our deck was severely hampered by not having blue mana. So let's take a look at our mana base. Let's see if we just got really unlucky or we are doing something horrifically wrong. Let's take a look-see. We have 7 plains and 5 islands. So we have 7, 8, 9 white sources and 7 blue sources. Again, based on our distribution of the low-cost cards that need white mana, I think that's a decent distribution. Maybe I get rid of a plains for an island and make it even. That doesn't feel right either. However, we do have the double blue needed for Alrund's Epiphany, so yeah, maybe that's what we needed. In that game, we did have an out, actually. We had Trickster Gods we could have traded for the Gigantic Giant. That would have been pretty funny. No, but then they would have had a flyer. I only had a flyer left, so I would have to trade the flyer for the Giant, so I would still have lost. That's a tough call. So this is basically a plains, and this is basically an island, so 7/7. That still just feels wrong. 7, 7, 8, 8. We have more white cards, don't we? Yeah, we have 14 white cards and 8 blues. So, all right. I suppose I just got unlucky. I feel like this mana base is correct. So let's just assume we got unlucky and keep playing. Waiting for our next one. Waiting for our next. Waiting for our next. Remember, if you're watching in these historic times, diamond hands, I'm in it myself, and diamond hands has been absolutely ridiculous. It is a constant adrenaline rush. Ooh, okay, so we have both colors available now. Our opponent's going first, which is not what we wanted. We do have the Augury Raven as our creature. We have a removal spell for Foretell, so yeah, I think this is very solid. We do want to draw our Clarion Spirit Guide thing, but let's see what we have. Ooh, unfortunately our opponent is very aggressive here. So they are going to like the fact that all we have is Glacial Floodplain. And we won't have a blocker for that for a little while, actually. So that card is going to give our opponent Dinosaur a lot of value. Our opponent names green, so it looks like our opponent is running an elf deck. Clarion Spirit Guide comes out, which is great. So I think we are going to foretell our Iron Verdict here, perhaps. Augury Raven, because next turn we want to do something. So yeah, I think we foretell this card. So next turn we can play the Spirit and cast Iron Verdict. I think that's the plan. Yeah, we definitely foretell this card right now. Because yeah, next turn we get the Clarion Spirit in, and then we Iron Verdict one of their creatures. Here we go, Clarion Spirit. And yeah, I suppose we get rid of the Dusk Wielder. We definitely don't want. Oh, that's oops. That might have been a mistake. My Clarion Spirit is a 2/2. If I thought Dusk Wielder was a 2/2 for whatever reason. Whoops, that's a mistake. But here we are. At least we got a 1/1 token out of it. Next turn we are looking to double foretell again. So then the turn after that we can hopefully revitalize and cast one of our other spells to great effect. 3/2 is not too much of a concern for us because we have Revitalize. Shorn God of Winter. Ooh, I kind of wish that I had kept my Iron Verdict. I think I might have just killed myself by accident here. Let's see, foretell. So I definitely need to foretell Raven form now. And I suppose I would like to foretell my Augury Raven here as well. Whenever it attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. So that's going to get untapped. We're not going to have God of Winter in anymore, so yeah, I think I want to go aggressive soon, so I'll get that creature out. The one spirit token here, I think I need to chump block here. I don't want to lose too much life here. Chariot. Wow, okay, our opponent is very lucky here. So here we are, basically our opponent's creature has Vigilance. We will chump block the God of Winter here so we don't instantly lose. We have a Valkyrie, but no creatures yet, so I think we definitely need to Raven form. Wow, our opponent has so many powerful cards here. That's pretty unfair, basically. Well, the Chariot's going to churn out a lot of tokens that I can't chump block, so I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Okay. You crew 4, but it's still a creature, so it's still a valid target. I'm not sure what that was done for. Gains hexproof until end of turn. Wow. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Well, our opponent had all the answers, and we are kind of done. We don't have any kill spells. We can get a Raven out, I suppose, and get some chump blockers going, but we can't really stop this army of cat tokens, unfortunately, so I think that's the end of us. Our opponent is crude. Our opponent gets an extra cat. So I suppose I will have to double block here. Next turn I can cast Revitalize and the Stalwart once the Augury Raven's in the graveyard, so I think this is the best bet here. If our opponent has another pump spell, there's no way to recover. Another mana, so that's not bad. Yeah, we definitely need our Valkyrie in here. Move that. And then we revitalize to get another token. Oh, we're so close. Actually, we're not even close. Our opponent just got way too aggressive for our deck to handle. Like I said, our sealed pool was very, very light on removal. So even if we had this Icebind Pillar, our opponent has. Are we dead in the water here? I guess if we had an Icebind Pillar here, maybe we can do something. It does make the Chariot a lot easier to deal with if we have the Icebind Pillar here, so we're looking to chump block here, basically. Yeah, so here we have the chump block. One target destroys our Clarion Spirit, which is unfortunate. And a Skull Raid. We have to discard 2 cards. Well, none of these cards are going to help us win, honestly, so... I don't think it matters what I bring here because we're gonna have to chump block. Our opponent doesn't even need to crew the cat, so our Icebind Pillar is going to be pretty useless. So yeah, I don't think we can do anything here, unfortunately. I think we are out of luck. Yep, that's not going to do it. So we have the Ice Pillar. And I suppose we foretell... Oops. Yeah, so we could have tapped down one of their creatures, blocked one of them, but they still have 6 damage open, so there's nothing we can do. So we might as well just attack and give our opponent the concede. Sad days, sad days. We had one game where we were completely mana screwed, and we have the second game where, you know, just didn't work out in our favor because our opponent got out really strong and really aggressive, and our deck is very low in removal, so we were unable to keep up. Alright, we're ready for another one. Let's hope this one goes a little bit better in our favor. Dart Wider. We are going first. We have way too many lands in our hand. However, we do have some Foretell and our one Icebind Pillar control card. And we have the Snowland to fuel it, so I suppose we'll have to be happy with that, even though it is not that great. Okay, so we can foretell this, and we have Revitalize next, so we can do the Doomscar Oracle plus Revitalize next turn to gain a massive amount of life and draw extra cards. Unfortunately, we can't play that because we need the mana, so we will have the Plains here. We will foretell our guy in here. We will cast our Revitalize. And unfortunately, we're drawing into more lands because, of course, that's what our deck does. We have one game where we were color screwed even though statistically we were sound, and then now we are just flooding. Story of my life, friends. So we can cast the Icebind Pillar. I think that's the best we can do this turn. And I suppose that's it. We did gain that 5 life, so, and our deck is slightly thinner, so hopefully we'll draw into something we can actually win the game with. We do not want to trade that just yet. Okay, we have Clarion Spirit, which is great. However, we don't have any Foretold cards yet, so this turn what we're going to do is put another island in play. We will foretell this with these two. And then that sets us up to be able to Icebind Pillar one of our opponent's creatures at their turn. And on our turn, we can cast Clarion Spirit plus hopefully the card we draw, because we don't have any Anthem cards really yet. Oh shoot, I forgot to tap down one of their creatures, so unfortunately we're going to take an extra 2 damage. However, it does mean we can tap down one of our opponent's creatures here. Iron Verdict does not help us this turn. So once again, I think I am forced to foretell. Warhorn Blast isn't going to help us, but it might help us survive. We need 4 mana to do that shenanigans. So yeah, I think I'm stuck doing nothing again here. Foretell 3. I don't even have enough mana to go to make this work anyway. Oh wait, yeah, and I just foretold it this last turn. Yeah, okay, so I'm stuck doing nothing here. So here we are. We have to tap our opponent's mentor. And we will take another 4 damage. Hopefully we draw something that we can work with. Skull Raid. Honestly, just... wow, why? Alright, what can I do here? Nothing much, I guess. I can foretell and Iron Verdict on their turn, I suppose. That only costs 3 mana, and I still have enough mana to tap down one of their creatures. And it'll gain me some life. So yeah, I suppose that's what we're at right now. So once again, it's our opponent's turn. We will have to tap it. Our opponent is doing a whole bunch of stuff, so so this creature is tapped, so we can just Iron Verdict it. So we will try and block it this turn and see what happens. See what our opponent does. Our opponent basically has sacrificed that. Sculptor of Winter is fine with me. Another death knell. Oh wow, our opponent has triple death knells, so that's not good for us. No, we definitely want to use this and this to foretell. We see the Valkyrie, which is great because we can play it, and we don't need more lands, so that's what we want. And of course we draw another land, and for the second spell we can cast this to destroy our opponent's creature, relieve some pressure, and we get a Miststalker. That's pretty sweet. So this turn we do get to cast a whole bunch of spells. Maybe we keep the island in our hand. We will cast our Valkyrie here, remove our Clarion Spirit. So that's spell 1. And spell 2 will be our Mistwalker. And we're still leaving our mana open for Snow Permanent to tap down. So we gained another life, and we have some flyers going on now. So let's pass the turn and see what happens. We will once again tap our opponent's creature. We will attempt to block one of them at least. Next turn, hopefully we'll have enough mana open and we can cast something sweet like that. Cast a Warhorn Blast. Of course, our opponent has way down, so there's that. We just lost another creature. Okay, finally a large creature that can help us pay with snow. Yep, for sure. We will tap our opponent's Icehide Troll, and now we have a large creature, and we can still tap down one of our opponent's creatures. Am I ready to attack yet? Well, if I'm not planning on blocking with the Oracle, I suppose I will have to attack here. Okay, so that's not good. We will have to tap one of our opponent's creature again. Our opponent does nothing, so here we are. Clarion Spirit is pretty good. We don't have an out for our opponent's Dogged Pursuit, though. What can I do here? Suppose I will just have to pass the turn here. If I cast Clarion Spirit, I'm at risk of not getting that one extra token the next turn. But pretty much right now, because of Dogged Pursuit, I'm going to be bled dry. It's a very, very precarious situation. Our Warhorn Blast isn't the best Foretold card to have. We still have Warhorn Blast available here. Our opponent doesn't attack, okay, but now our opponent has a 4/2 reach creature. That's going to be a problem for us for sure. Nothing we can do about it, so here we go. Ooh, Trickster Gods! Okay, so here we are. We have Clarion Spirit here. And we have Trickster Gods. So I think I need to go full control. So yeah, four mana. I need to get the 1/1 token first. So yeah, I get the 1/1 flying token. I gain the 2 life. And then I resolve this card, which allows me to trade my flying token for a Berserker is even actually good enough, but I think I need to take the Ice Hide Troll. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the 4/2 right now. Not just yet anyway. The reason I took the Ice Hide Troll is because once it untaps, it's a 2/3. I want it to be able to block a Death Knell Berserker. So what does this do? Create a 2/2. Any number of them become 4/4. Choose up to 1. Each deals damage to choose. Wow. Okay, so I kind of wish I got the Not Cold Recluse instead. So, well, what happened to? Oh, our opponent played Broken Wings. I see. Okay. So that becomes a 4/4 next turn. Casting Warhorn Blast now without Cold Spell Cleric isn't really going to help me, so I think I'm just gonna have to suck it up. The Ice Hide Troll becomes indestructible, so I should be okay there. I do need one more Snowland to have my Ice Bind active. However, I do have Warhorn Blast this turn, so I should be okay. Also, this game is kind of slightly more exciting, I think. Dogged Pursuit. Okay, so our opponent decides not to do that. That's fine, I suppose. Choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker, each creature with power 4. So our opponent gets to blow up one of our creatures next turn. It'll most likely be the Berg Strider. There's nothing I can really do against that. Our opponent only gets to choose 1 creature, right? Choose up to 1 target creature. Okay, so this turn we can tap something. We'll tap their Spider, I suppose. Our turn. Okay, Raven Form is excellent. Too bad it's a sorcery. However, I can just cast it right now and get rid of our opponent's creature and have Cold Spell Cleric come out. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to Raven form and remove our opponent's Recluse because it has flying, or it has reach. We want to have Cold Spell Cleric come in. We'll gain 2 life, we'll get a 1/1 token. And we'll get +1/+1 to our Bergstrider, so it can't get picked off with the Bears of Lichjara next turn. And hopefully we can get something going on now. Choose what to attack with. Don't think I am quite at the attacking phase yet. However, if I don't start attacking soon, I'm going to lose. Do I have enough stuff to block their flyers? No. Alright, I guess I don't attack yet. Okay, so our opponent is going after our Mistwalker. I suppose I will have to let this fall. And then let's see what our opponent does. Our opponent attacks with 2 1/1 tokens, which is fine with me. I will just block one. We will spend our mana tapping down our opponent's creature here. Snow-covered swamp gives us another swamp source, so the problem is we need another spell to get another token, but we can tap down our opponent's token. A 4/4 is not too concerning. We just need to not bleed out to a Dogged Pursuit now, really. Unfortunately, our opponent is so far ahead, like if we just attack with Ice-High Troll, that won't even matter, and okay, our opponent just gets the Battle Mammoth out. Which is pretty unfortunate for us. Okay. That might be our salvation here. That's if we survive that long. Oh, I didn't need to foretell that, did I? If I just hard casted it, could I have hard cast was 7 to cast, right? 7 to cast. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I wouldn't have had enough to win though. That's a problem. Okay, so I definitely need to tap out our opponent's Battle Mammoth. I think letting them draw a card is actually better here. +2, +1. Yeah, I think I definitely need to tap down our opponent's Battle Mammoth. They're gonna have to draw a card here, which, whatever. Nothing I can do about that. But I just, can't lose this one turn, so I will have to take that 1 damage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 mana. With the Icebind Pillar, I can tap a lot of cards. Do I need to cast anything right now? No, I do not. We see the Oracle. Okay, so how do I win here? How do I win here? I need to tap down some of my opponent's creatures. Two bird tokens. And then I can tap down one of my opponent's creatures. Or I foretell now, but I still won't be able to cast it next turn. So yeah, I really just need to tap opponent's creature. And then I suppose I try to I have to cast this. And then attack with these two creatures, I think. Okay, so get the planes. Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 plus 12, 22. I'm short 2 damage, really? Oh wait, no, I can do this. Will I survive? Okay, wow, this is really tense. All right, so our opponent obviously attacks with everything. We can block two. So this way we block. Okay, so we definitely need to block with this, and here we can get rid of a creature or prevent 2 damage. Either way, if we block this creature or this creature, we prevent 2 damage, but at least we can kill this one. So we are at 7. We take 1 damage from Dogged Pursuit. So do we just win here? Oh, wow! We literally won with 1 life left. What an epic game. That was absurd. The Epiphany does its job, and we had the Anthem card at the same time, so we pulled a win out of our butts. Oof. Wow. That was crazy. Okay. Absolutely crazy. I think I could have done a little bit more talking during that time. I was really thinking, I think what made the difference was when we attacked during our first of 2 turns with the Giant, I think our opponent had a better chance of winning, actually, if they just blocked with 1 creature. Because our Giant doesn't have trample, and it really all came down to that 1 turn. By triple blocking the Giant, he lost 2 blockers, and I think that made a huge difference. No, it doesn't. I guess because if they only blocked with 1, it would have died, and then they would have 2 extra blockers, but one of them would be needed to block the Giant again on the 2nd turn. So that's still 2 blockers, and yeah. So I guess it didn't make too much of a difference on our opponent's side. Yeah. I suppose it didn't make too much of a difference for that 1 turn. Sarah Gorgon. All right, let's see how we do it. Wow, that was, we just had a ridiculously long game. So we don't have any white sources here, so we definitely cannot keep this hand. Most of our deck is predominantly white, so we absolutely cannot keep this hand. And here we are, we have 3 colors. However, I don't think we can keep that. We do have some Foretell cards, which is nice, so at least we're not hopeless. We definitely need to get rid of one of our lands here, so it's going to be our blue. We do have 2 white cards, so we need more white than not. And we want our black source to have access to our 2 splashed black cards. So this is what we're gonna go with. This is how it's going to be done. Oh no, our opponent has a really, really aggressive start, which is exactly not the thing we wanted to see. So what we're going to do, next turn we want to foretell something, so that's 2 to cast. However, we can cast Clarion Spirit plus Code Spell Cleric next turn, so we don't necessarily need to. But just in case our opponent plays something nasty, maybe we do foretell the Iron Verdict to set up our defenses first. Drawing cards is a bit of a nice thing, but I think we should foretell to set up our defenses first. Next turn we're going for a Clarion Spirit plus Cold Spell Cleric, and we'll see where we go from there. Not too afraid of the Fearless Pup on turn 2 because it can't boast yet, and our opponent doesn't have mana anyway. So there's that. So here we are. We will do exactly what we mentioned that we would do. We will drop the planes, we'll play the Clarion Spirit, and we'll play the Cold Spell Cleric. And we will put the 1/1 counter on our Clarion Spirit to save it from that Frostbite shock card. Our opponent wants to block. If they want to deal some extra damage to us, we're fine. We can swing right back. Yep, our opponent is doing that, so I'm fine. Ooh, we have another 4 cards. 4 mana, I mean, sorry. We can destroy our opponent's creature, but there's really no rush to do that, so we will just foretell this card instead to enable more triggers next turn, and here we will just attack with all of our creatures. Still pretty even, still pretty strong. I think we are doing well so far. 4 mana. Let's see what our opponent dishes. We do have Iron Verdict if they have something nasty, but I suppose it does have to be tapped first. Skull Raid will cause us to lose our Beskir Shieldmate, so that sucks. However, we do have the Stalwart Valkyrie, so dumping a creature into our graveyard isn't the worst thing for us. We don't want to cast Iron Verdict. I guess, yeah, we can't cast Iron Verdict, so we don't want to do Behold the Multiverse just now. Ooh, Alrund's Epiphany is quite excellent. We definitely want to foretell that. We don't want our opponent to force us to discard that. Did I actually bottom an island? Did I make that mistake? I need another island. Or else we can't cast Alrund's Epiphany, but oh well. Attack with our flyer, attack with our spirit. Get some more damage in. We need to be greedy. We need to wait for more 2 spell turns, so we will wait. I suppose I could have attacked with wait, no. The Fearless Pup is first strike, so I couldn't have attacked it. I couldn't have attacked with the Cleric. That wasn't a bad idea. Let's see what our opponent has. They have 5 mana and 1 snow source, so that's a pretty solid mana base. I could be I'm hoping we draw. Okay, wow, that's not cool. However, we do have the Iron Verdict for that, so that's going to be excellent. Still have nothing playable. Okay, dropping a plains here isn't the worst thing. We can still attack with our flyer here, and we're still pretty well protected with the Iron Verdict and the Behold the Multiverse, so I think I feel pretty safe here. Can attack for 1, chipping our way at our opponent. We are hoping to see another blue source though, then we can get in our Alrund's Epiphany and get good things going. Kennel Master becomes indestructible until end of turn. Alright. So unfortunately, our opponent is going to be able to deal some damage to us. That's 8 damage is pretty scary. I don't think I can take 8 damage, so I will have to chump block here. First strike. It's indestructible, so I guess I have to block it. I guess I didn't have to block that. Oh, that was bad. Okay. We are still stuck with Behold the Multiverse now, unfortunately. Oh, wait, we can just cast it on our opponent's turn. No, on our turn now. Okay. Another snow-covered swamp, which is not what we wanted. However, what we can do now is just Iron Verdict on the giant here. Hopefully that goes through. Village Rights, okay. Same thing for me, I don't really care. Suppose we can just let that run. And we will do Behold the Multiverse. That still triggers the second. Oh, we have Raven form, which is excellent. Oh, we do need the island. Wow, I almost threw out the island. Okay, so we do have 2 cards, so that's excellent. So we will draw these 2 cards. We will drop the island. We will cast. Ooh, we can even exile. We can foretell this? No. Do we cast this and just get rid of this? We can attack with our 1/1 flyer here. Foretell, we definitely want to foretell that next, so do I use the mana to get rid of this right now? Don't suppose it's too much of a problem for us, so maybe I will foretell this. The reason being we are so close to having enough flyers to fly over our opponent's head right now. Each opponent discards a card. Okay, we lose our swamp. We're so close to flying over our opponent's head right now. So if they're interested in attacking us right now, okay, so that happened. That's fine. We don't need to block this. It's 5 damage. It's fine. So this is where we can do ridiculous things. We will indeed cast Alrund's Epiphany here. Get 2 bird tokens. We will attack for 2 damage here. We get an extra turn. We can cast Clarion Spirit. We'll cast the Icebind Pillar. Oh, this is absolutely nuts, because now I have a whole bunch of flyers. I can still Raven form one of their creatures next turn, but all I need to do is tap... Actually, I don't even need to tap a creature right now, because that cannot block our flyers, so we just fly right in right now. And then we can save this to tap one of our opponent's creatures, so there is no hope of retaliation. We don't want to donate a 1/1 flying token to our opponent if we can prevent that. So we are looking pretty good, I think. Our opponent does look like they were flooded a little bit. They are at 8. They have 8 lands, so here we are. Let's tap down our opponent's Kennel Master. So our opponent is not looking too good. Are there cards that deal... Both can only be boasted once. So I suppose I feel pretty safe just chump blocking just in case here. I don't really need that 1 token anymore. Cinderhulk Giant. That's not going to die at all. That's very irrelevant, actually. Exile target creature, artifact, or creature. Alright, so we'll get the Blood Sky Berserker in. We will cast Raven form, sure. Just get rid of the gigantic creature here. Get another 1/1 token. Our opponent gets a 1/1 flyer, but that's okay because we can tap down the flyer. And then we can attack with all of our creatures, and that should be more than enough damage to defeat our opponent. And there it is. We got through. Our deck did what it was supposed to do, and we did not get mana screwed. Oof. Okay, here we go, here we go. Where are we at now? I think we are at 2-2. Oh, 3-2, okay. Text, properties. Change this to GME hold. And let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's see. We have Clarion Spirit, 4 lands, and Trickster God's Heist. This is a tricky hand. We don't have anything playable. Four lands isn't bad though, so I suppose we'll have to go with this. And Foretell. But that's a very, very, very bad Foretell card to get, and it's pretty much GG now. Unless our opponent also just does nothing. This is going to not go well for us. Okay. Well, that's actually just in time. We can foretell. We can cast Clarion Spirit and foretell that next turn. Alright, so now we're back in business. Our opponent, just like us, foretells another card. So I think we need some white sources here. We definitely want to look for cards, so let's go with Clarion Spirit, and then maybe Codespell Cleric, actually. It does make our creatures slightly more powerful. We'll put that on our Clarion Spirit to make it a little bit more resilient. Okay, they have Vega, the Watcher. That is pretty scary, actually. So we might actually try to combo out this turn with Bullhorn Blast. So let's see what we need. We need blue mana. No, we only need 1 blue mana, so let's go with... Let's throw this up there. And we will attack with everything. that, unfortunately for you, my friend, is a bad move. And we will also draw cards. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Oh wait, we don't have black mana, so never mind, that's not good. Yeah, I'm fine with having a 1 mana card as well. Oh, yep, okay. Can definitely get some stuff going here. Oh, we do need that black mana though. Hopefully we do get black mana, so whatever scary card our opponent is up to, we will just cast it. Or steal it. Our opponent has another Vega Watcher, what? Wow, okay. That's unfortunate for us. So we'll get the Doomscar Oracle out, so we can start gaining extra life. And I want to attack this turn, so I think I will cast the Valor onto our Clarion Spirit here. And I am just going to... Oh, we still have more lands to play, so yeah, let's drop that. Next, we will attack with the Clarion Spirit. Do I want to flood the board with Veskier Shieldmate? I actually think I do, just because we already have so many cards out there. We might be able to just win next turn. Our opponent can block Doomscar Oracle, and then we have 7 on the board, 7, 8, 9. We might actually just want to have our Veskier Shieldmate come out this turn. Iron Verdict, okay, gets rid of our Clarion Spirit. So yeah, playing our Shieldmate turned out okay. Oh no, our opponent has more flying creatures. Forest flying, so wow, so many flying creatures, that is not good for us. Oh man, I can't believe it. Alright, so I guess I foretell this card. And yeah, alright. If we hit Alrund's Epiphany, I think we're in good shape. Do I have an attack here though? If I attack with all of my creatures, I'm likely going to lose 3 of them, so 1, 2, and 3, and our opponent takes 3 damage, so maybe it's not worth it. Wow, our opponent can foretell on anybody's turn? Well, that's ridiculous. How is our opponent having add 1 mana of any one color here? As long as you have 6 or more lands. Oh wow. Opponent has the World Tree, so they're playing, what, multicolored deck as well? Okay, another foretell, that's kind of scary. Yeah, so I think our best bet really is just to go wide with Alrund's Epiphany. our opponent isn't drawing... Our opponent is drawing 1,000,000 cards, but not playing any other creatures, so we've got that going for us. We still have Trickster God's Heist, so we can, theoretically, if we draw a swamp during the next 2 turns, we can steal something from our opponents. However, here is the conundrum. We still don't have enough flyers, so I think playing this will give us some aggression. Some more aggression. So we'll get the Miststalker out first and delay our swing 1 more turn. It's very scary what our opponent is doing here. They have basically, they've seen 3 more cards from their deck. Okay, so Broken Wings, that apparently didn't do anything for us. Alright, so our opponent just got a free turn to draw a whole bunch more cards, so that is not good for us. We want them to have as little... What does this do? Sacrifice it, search for any number of God cards, put them into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. They need 10 mana to do that. Okay, well, that's not good. So our opponent finally drew another creature. If we manage to steal this creature with Trickster, I think we have the bag, but unfortunately that is not the case. So I don't even know if playing Alrund's Epiphany is going to help us now. We definitely need to steal a creature now. Or, actually, we just bait our opponents into attacking us, and then we should be fine, really. If our opponents are all tapped out, we just cast Alrund's Epiphany, and then we should win. That's also the other plan. Oops. It's getting dark in here now, so let me turn on some lights. Yurt the Turk. Yurt, are you excited, Yurt? We have a chance of pulling off something epic here. Wow, our opponent is literally just drawing 1,000,000 cards from their deck. Target creature gains +1/+1. It must be blocked this turn if able. Okay, so I guess I will have to block it with 1 creature. We lose 1 token here. 100% need a swamp here, but I do not get a swamp. So I suppose we wait once again. We need a swamp to win. If we swamp and steal the Maha Pretty Guard Protector, we should win. Augury Raven, okay. Pretty scary. I think that's no longer the case, what I just said, because our opponent has more creatures than us now. We will just take the 4 damage. And our opponent just keeps drawing more and more cards. Again, they are killing us with card advantage here. They got their combo out. So unfortunately for us, we are stuck here. And now it is not looking good for us at all. Okay, Revitalize isn't really gonna help. Could help us draw a swamp, I suppose. Oh, it does draw us a swamp. Do we win now? Alrund's Epiphany, we gain 2 life. After this game, I have to go back to... Oh, our opponent just counters it, so that's the end of that. we don't have anything left in the tank except for Trickster God's Heist. Our opponent bounds us in gold, and let's see what we can do here. Pretty much nothing. 15. How much do they have? Let's block 4, 3, 4, 4. Man, we got royally screwed over with that. So if we block this, everything else actually becomes slightly weaker. So this token would actually die to a 1/1. And this should also die to a to that. And then we can block maybe the Cosmo Charger here. And of course it gets +1/+1, so there's that. Snow-covered swamp isn't going to do it for us here. We'll exchange this with this, I suppose. And then we can get a 1/1 token, I suppose. Opponent takes 2 damage, and we take the L. We were so close. When I'm doing editing, I think we're gonna have to go back to the video and see if I actually lost by delaying casting Alrund for so long. I think that was my mistake. I think casting it that early when our opponent only had 3 creatures in play would have actually benefited us. It would have been a gambit. We would have to had sacrificed a lot of our 1/1 tokens, but maybe there was an opportunity there for us to win. So we'll have to take a look in the video replay, but hey, that's that. We did 3-3 today, which is not bad. Remember, when you're playing sealed, you get 6 packs and 3 packs as a reward, even if you have 0 wins, and you get 200 gems back. So that means you are breaking even at 0 wins. You really can't complain about that. So at 3 wins, we got 1,200 gems, which means we got 1,000 gems for free. Or I guess you can count it as sort of a refund, or you can consider it getting 10 packs for 1,000 gems. So we got a 50% discount on 10 packs. That's pretty solid, can't complain about that. Taking a look at our deck again for our usual debrief, please let me know what you think could have gone better. We definitely maybe have played ourselves trying to wait for the black mana for so long. Again, we'll have to take a look. Bloodsky Berserker didn't make too much of a difference. There was that one game where it helped us trigger another 2 spell per turn, so that was sweet. Clarion Spirit, you saw it in action every time we won. We had Clarion Spirit flying tokens to help us out there. Cold Spell Cleric did some fun stuff, kept our Clarion Spirits alive once or twice. Beskir Shieldmate, didn't see too much action. Doomscar Oracle is also decent, gained us some life. Iron Verdict helped us kill some creatures once or twice. Icebind Pillar indeed was spectacular, helped us pull off that ridiculous win earlier. Mistwalker didn't do all too much for us. Raven Form, again, cheap removal spells that have low downside, you really can't complain too much about. Stalwart Valkyrie we didn't see too many of these in action, but they were very handy. As soon as you had a creature in your graveyard, you know, we were able to get a cheap flyer in play and trigger our second spell. So it wasn't too bad. Behold the Multiverse is surprisingly very, very effective. Again, with the 2 spell per turn, we got a lot of 1/1 tokens out of the Foretell portion of this. Trickster God was hilarious. Bergstrider, I think, helped us one time. Warhorn Blast, again, Anthem. When you have a lot of 1/1 token generation capability in your deck, Anthem cards are good. They can help you win the game. So, you know, that's what we saw. And Alrund's Epiphany, again, I feel like I messed up that last game. I think we had an opportunity to win, but I should have done the math. I should have done the math a little bit better. Let's yeah, we'll take a look together and see how it goes. Mana base, of course, we did need the snow permanents to power the Icebind Pillar. You know, there were a couple of turns in that one game where we only had 2 snow lands to work with, and we wanted to have 3. We had stolen our opponent's ice troll thing that needed 2 snow to activate, and it makes it indestructible, so it would have held our opponent at bay. And we had the Icebind Pillar, so once we hit that 3rd snow mana, it made a huge difference. So yeah, when you're playing limited and or sealed in the set, yeah, you should definitely consider adding off-color ice lands if your deck needs it badly, like ours did, because, you know, Icebind Pillar, so good, but you need snow mana to make it work. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this. Getting an extra turn is always hilarious against our opponent, and that one ridiculous win we had made it all worth it. And you know what? That's what Magic is all about. Doesn't matter all of the L's that you take for stupid mana screws or mana floods. When you get an epic win, epic comeback like that, you really, really can't complain. So that's that for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. But before we go, of course, Yurt the Turk has to say goodbye. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. If you're on YouTube, please like and or subscribe. And if you're on Twitch, please leave me a follow. I'll be doing more quick drafts when quick drafts are enabled.